So we've studied very carefully not only consumer expectations, but we've talked to dealers around the country about the existing solutions that they're using today and wanted to find out what were some of the challenges they were having with some of the existing solutions on the market. One of the things that we heard about was, of course, the business model related to some of those solutions, including, for instance, the requirement to make a large investment up front to purchase the devices to install in the inventory on the lot. Also, the complexity of wired installations that require specific technical training of staff and represent about 30 to 45 minutes per car, which is an extremely onerous requirement, especially for equipping an entire lot for the first time. We've also discussed, even with manufacturers, the fact that especially for electric vehicles going forward, any aftermarket wired installation into the car for some of them is starting to be a violation of the terms of the manufacturer warranty. And so whereas we've been very accustomed to installing aftermarket devices in the past, some of these EVs, which have much more sensitive electronics, are saying we really don't want to see that kind of aftermarket devices installed in the future. We've also heard a lot of stories about certain solutions draining batteries and things of that nature. So in our work, we've tried to avoid that. We've also started to understand that many manufacturers are starting to reject aftermarket OBD devices plugged into the cars because they have a sense that that data belongs to them and that they don't want anyone else starting to read that out. So this is something that seems to be emerging now as a trend. We've heard from several manufacturers who don't want to see those kind of solutions proliferate any further. Last couple points. First of all, cars that are equipped with these wired solutions often leave the lot even when that solution isn't sold to the customer. And that's for several reasons. Number one, because of the complexity of having to remove it from the car again. That represents, more effort on the part of dealers to have to remove a solution. And somewhat more innocently, often it's just simply forgotten. And the car leaves the lot. The dealer still has to pay for that solution, even though they haven't generated any revenue from it. And last but not least, there's a great opportunity to use theft recovery trackers or locators also for lot management and in order to be able to do inventory and understand what the location of cars on your lot at any given moment. But very often those functionalities cost extra or require completely separate parallel solutions at the same time. So those are some of the solutions or the issues that we've seen, and you can see here today's wired reality really can get pretty complex and nasty, and these are some pictures that we took at some dealerships about some of the existing solutions that are out there today. We then sort of asked for a wish list from our potential customers about what would you like to see happen in 2021 with theft recovery solutions. What we heard from them is it's time to revolutionize the business model. We want something that doesn't cost us money and that is win-win for both the solution provider as well as the dealership and has zero upfront costs. What we also heard was, okay, we live in a wireless age today. Why are these solutions not evolving along with the times? We understand that historically there have been battery issues related to getting a long service life out of these tracking devices. But come on, guys, solve this problem. There's got to be something easier, and you have to be able to resolve the burden that we have of installation and get it down to something much simpler, like 1 minute. The other insight that we got from dealers was, all right, these trackers are in our cars. We have a great opportunity to use them to manage efficiency in our lots, to make sure that a car is arriving and going through our entire process all the way through to sales as simply as possible and as quickly as possible. We need to be able to spot bottlenecks. But that solution's already installed. Why should we be paying for a parallel solution or be paying more? You've got to come up with something better. Last but not least, they wanted something that was really easy to generate profit with at F&I, and that would generate a very strong penetration just because of how easy it is to use, how easy it is to demonstrate, and how easy it is to sell. And they have to be able to remove it easily if customers don't buy it. It shouldn't be a 30-minute process by a technician. should be whoever's prepping the car and doing the final detail for sales should be able to pull the device, put it into the batch that's ready to install in cars that arrive later and be reassigned to the next new car that arrives.